Yeah.
I know you said you watched some of the girls' fights, but you don't find it as exciting as, say, like the professional wrestling, or you like the whole the drama of it, the soap opera of it.
I love the drama and the fakeness of professional wrestling. No, I love a good fight. I'll watch a good fight.
I don't judge anybody. I like when they're passionate about anything. Like, people love that. Your buddy Sam Roberts loves the fake stuff.
Yes, he does.
You know.
And I love, can we talk, because here's things I'd love to talk about is how some of the fake stuff is coming into the UFC or into like Bellator. And particularly, you guys had a fight with a former wrestler, Jack Swagger, who is now Jake Hager, was his real name. And he came out with a full wrestler's entrance. He had his wrestler friend come out with him. He came out with his wrestler catchphrase, "We the people."
Yeah, well, can I cut you off right there? This is all going to be cut out because it's Bellator. I'm only kidding.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about that?
No, you can't. I'm fucking around. I'm fucking around, Rock.
You can only, is this a corporate?
Hey, Ron, no, this is perfect because it kicks off when we find out that you're not a fan at all, and then you're like, well, I love fucking Bellator. But what's next? Oscar De La Hoya's promotion's your second favorite?
Look, pride.
The crossover is it? The UFC, there was no crossover, and then Brock comes in and does very well. As a wrestler, everyone's like, he's a wrestler. What's he going to do? He beats Frank Mir. Wait a minute, he beats Shane. I mean, he did do really well.
But Jimmy, he's not like he's CM Punk. No offense, I like CM. He's a nice guy. A Punk coming over. He was a legit amateur wrestler.
Who?
A fucking Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. But
he was legit.
But
like
he comes
his
from
credentials
WWE.
on his wrestling alone. His
from
real
WWE.
wrestling.
Yeah, it was
you
good.
know.
Yeah, he was a great wrestler.
I want to know. We don't have to jump right into it, but I want to know about Giggle Fit.
Okay.
Don't you want to know about that?
Well, a comic will never ask another comic about a stand-up special.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to know about that? I do.
Well, before we do that,
go ahead.
I'm sure all your listeners are UFC fans and like, why the fuck are we even listening?
No, they hate you now, Rob.
Probably.
They probably
I think I got to at least talk something and talk to you guys because I can bring it back to the UFC then. Then let's talk about the fight between Khabib and McGregor.
Oh, okay.
Where that was 90% professional wrestling and then they didn't tell one guy. They didn't tell Khabib that this is pro wrestling.
Oh, that's
and then
funny.
he jumped out of a cage.
Oh, the promotion,
and
you
kicked
mean?
into people. Yeah.
The promotional angle of wrestling is definitely bled into it. And again, Brock did that when he was in the cage. He was a great pro. He's like saying fuck the sponsors, which he had to say he was sorry for. But it was but then Ronda winds up losing and going over to WWE and being the biggest star over there. So there's definitely a crossover. When Brock came out of the cage one time, The Undertaker was there and they had a weird moment with each other. I think both organizations realize the other one is massive and has a tremendous fan base, and they're going to be some bleed over fans, so they might as well try to grab a few more. So it's smart business.
I think it's smart business, but my point is that I wish that they would at least let some of the more people in on it, because when Conor's throwing dollies or doing things that seem like that's part of promoting the fight. He's doing, because when Khabib is like, why did you jump out? He's like, he talked about my dad, he talked about my religion, he talked about my country. He's like, that's his job.
Yeah, no,
that's what he's supposed to do if you want to sell fights.
Yeah, but there should be a line in the sand, because how far do you go? Because then you're taking it you're making it something other than sport when you cross the line.
It's sports. When you're trying to sell pay-per-view buys,
of course.
it's entertainment at that
point. Of course, but why not burn the guy's house down? Why not just shit on the guy's porch? I don't know. I mean, how far do you take it?
I actually
where it's like,
ideas.
Those
are both great ideas.
No, but then you're going to be like,
that's dope. I'm watching that fight.
The thing is this, because it's combat sports, the more you wrong somebody and do that, you want to see them fight. Oh, man, he did that to him. Oh, he said that. So I understand that part of it. But when you talk about like somebody's family and religion, like you just like talked about what Conor said, you're making it something else. You really are. So then you got to take whatever consequences come to you. So it's so when Conor's in the cage saying, hey, it's all business. Really? You're talking about my father? It's all business? Really? I don't know. My religion? Really? Now you're the guy who's not being a hard ass. Now you say, hey, it's all business. It's all business. All right. Well, now you're getting your ass kicked.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying, but then it has to be known on both sides. And then Conor, if he does it, then Conor needs to be punished. If he's not punished,
well, he punished him, all right.
but my whole point is that at the end of the day, what Conor does is bringing in money. He's bringing in eyes.
Yeah.
He's bringing in views. And then when Khabib does that, it's bringing in eyes. It's bringing in views. But because he jumped over the thing and nobody let him in on the fact that it is business, the only people that lost money was Conor and Khabib.
Yeah. Well,
I think Khabib knew what it was. Sorry, Matt. I think he knew what it was, but he didn't like it.
so much money of his own pocket because he's not in on the work. And that, to me, is the most unfair thing. Why is the guy in the fight losing money when everything else is blowing up because of it?
Well, it's a weird thing. I don't even know if I can give it to wrestling on that, because boxing did it too. I mean, Ali was better at that than anybody. He was taught. He used to go to Frazier's or Sonny Liston's training camp. Yeah. You know what I mean? He would go outside of his house with a like. There was a whole lot of. I think was it Liston pulled a fake gun on him in a casino and he ran like those guys did it long before UFC and WWE. So combat sports have always had a certain amount of aggression to each other. Yeah. And I don't mind Conor doing it, to be honest. If you're fighting Conor. Everyone wants to fight Conor because he brings in the most money. So that's what he does when you fight him. You saw how he was with Mayweather.
That's what exactly. With Mayweather. Yeah. That's 100% when I learned, like, oh, this guy, that is when you're really good because you're a great fighter and then you have a mind for the business of it and you have a mind for the entertainment aspect of it. And that's the one thing where I like wrestling, where I'm like, when over UFC, is that like everybody's in on it. Except for the fans, Except for we all know that too. I just don't like it when people are losing money, when everybody else is gaining money, the company is gaining money, and at the end of the day, the fighter has to go fight some more because they lost money because they got fined.
He shouldn't have jumped the cage, though. And again, I like Khabib a lot, and I just think it was wrong to do that, no matter how angry you are. And the difference between is when two guys are really going to fight is different than when, even though wrestlers get fucked up and they get injuries and they get hurt, they are not really fighting. There's a difference between two guys who are really going to fight. I guess the consequences of the words are a little more.
I don't want to keep rehashing this, but I'm just saying. I mean, he broke the guy. I mean, and then when it's time for him to get some revenge, the guy just taps out real quick. It's like, hey man, what the fuck?
But he handled his loss well.
You know what I mean? It's
like,
really. Yeah. After all that, you're just saying uncle and chalking it up for next time, really?
And in fairness, by the way, when this episode is out, the hearings for John Jones, Conor, and Khabib are tomorrow, actually. So when you're listening to this, the hearings are happening. So we'll find out what the final fine is for those guys, their suspensions. All that
if there's going to be anything.
Yeah, and if John gets licensed, which he will.
For Vegas?
We'll be talking about that next show.
Well, Jones also had this. There was a December 28th, he had the voluntary anti-doping agency test results. They got released 33 picograms of the M3 metabolite oral turinabol. His December 29th test came back negative. So it's one of those things that it's just, like, what do they say? It's a pulse.
It's a pulsing effect. This is, if anything, this validates what they've been saying all along, where you're gonna get a tiny amount of it sometimes, and sometimes you're gonna get nothing
because it's in your fat or whatever.
They're not even really sure where it comes from. It just kind of pulses in
your
and out
liver
of your
or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. So.
Well, listen. We could talk all those Nico-grams all day long, but we got Ron in here, and I heard he's into video games. Are you into video games?
I like that you're trying to pivot.
I don't like you here. You don't want to talk about that shit.
I do want to talk about that.
I want to talk about you. You're here. Listen to me. Are you into video games?
I want to talk picograms.
Did he get that wrong, too? I don't know.
No, I love video. What I really love about this podcast is so excited you were to have me here, and now it's really fading out.
No, I'm happy you're here.
No, he's saving what he really wants to talk to you about in a minute.
No, because I heard you're into. Are you into video games, or did he fuck?
No,
I
love video games. Yeah,
okay, now, why did you write about video games? Oh, you're an avid video game player. What do you play? Xbox, PlayStation?
Yeah, I play everything. Play a little bit of
everything. Have you ever fucked around with the virtual reality?
Yeah.
The Vive.
Yeah.
Really?
I got Vive at the house. Yeah. All right.
High five. I just washed my hands too. Don't worry about it. There's a game I play. I'm addicted to this thing. We might lose a lot of viewers right now, but listen.
No. After this, we're going to go into my sinus chat.
No, don't talk about your sinuses.
Yeah, I have bad sinuses.
Oh, what do you play on the Vive? I play. My game is battles.
Wait, what?
Is it? Stand out battle royale.
The man who
It's
fights?
like PUBG, but it's so fucking money. I love it. Excuse me. What do you play?
This game I really like Super Hot VR. Have you played that one?
What is that? What is that?
It's a shooter, but like things only move when you move. So like if you're standing still, everything's kind of in slow motion, and as you move, these people coming at you, trying to shoot you, you have to dodge them. And you can knock the gun out of their hand.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
You don't get dizzy.
know.
I get dizzy. I tried VR one time and I got dizzy.
I
Depends
get a
on what you
little
play.
dizzy, but you're old, you know.
I am an older man.
How old are you, Ron?
35.
Oh, you're a young man. I was knocking out Trigg at 35. Like
Yes,
you
you
keep
are.
bringing every time you say 35, you always bring that up.
I know I do.
About me knocking out Frank Trigg.
very happy.
Unconscious.
I know. He deserved
Okay.
it.
Man,
Yes.
you're fun. I don't have any memories like that.
Oh, I
can't
do.
Go, at 35, I knocked out this.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I have
And
no.
Jimmy
I have
always
no,
embarrasses me by bringing it
I
up.
have no physical man memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None.
Like 37.
I
Oh
do.
yeah, I was in Phoenix. I lost an erection. That's my memories.
Yeah, they're all negative.
Well, I'm what you call a bully buster. I heard you lost a lot of weight.
I did, yeah.
How'd you do it?
I did just change my diet, exercising a bunch. I got a trainer. Lost 140 pounds and just been real active.
140.
in the gym.
You basically lost the weight of Jimmy.
You lost me.
I lost the gym.
You start to get addicted to the compliments. Like it's like people. The first couple times people are like, hey, you look good. You lost weight. You're like, oh fuck, and that motivates you to keep going for 6 more months.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then it kind of sucks because then those fade away because people get used
They're used
to
to it.
how you look. And I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Still a big deal.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I used to be such a fat guy. I had, you know what I had? I love pizza and pasta. I had over the weekend, I had it again. I told you about it already. The cauliflower pizza we get from Stu Leonard's. That's where we get it from. It's so fucking good. Cauliflower pizza.
It doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good.
I've had it.
It sounds
before.
disgusting.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it
yeah.
good?
I don't like cauliflower.
No, me neither.
I don't
But
like
they're doing a
anything
lot of
green.
things that they're doing with it. They're mashing it up. They're frying it. There's a lot of things.
It's the crust.